Hey everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Tawana, author, speaker, coach, and fitness instructor. I am simply here to inspire, encourage, and motivate you to pursue your God-given purpose by uniquely being you. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's episode. I do pray that you are blessed and encouraged as we learn what it means to be graced and guided. Hey you guys, and welcome back to my podcast. My name is Tawana. Thank you all for joining me and tuning in this week. You guys, if it sounds a little different, I apologize. I'm in a different setting than I normally am when I'm recording, but hopefully you can still hear me okay. You just may hear some other little noises outside of me speaking, but it's all good. We finna get through this. How's everybody doing? Y'all all right? Pray everything's been going well with you. I'm okay. Everything is going good. Today, y'all, I just want to talk real quick on the topic about mental health and really, y'all, just really touch on healing your mental health. See, for a long time, I really didn't understand what mental health meant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think now we hear it more and more people are starting to talk about it and really make it a forefront of a conversation, and it's starting to become something that is more publicly talked about, and it's not something to be ashamed of. Even going to therapy is starting to become common. But I think, for me personally, I didn't really understand what that really meant, about your mental health until I started healing in this area and started getting free from a lot of things that I was going through mentally. Have you ever asked yourself, man, what was I thinking? You made a stupid decision or, got with somebody and you what was I thinking? Or you, like I say, made a decision and you look back if I was in my, you quote unquote, if I was in my right mind, right? We say that if I was in my right mind, I would have never made that decision. And you know what? That's true. If you were in your right mind, you would not have made that decision. Let's talk about what a right mind is. A right mind, when we say that, we say it as if I was really thinking straight, right? But what does that really mean? For me, it means honestly being healed, being able to say in a sober mindset where I had no distractions, where I had no issues, where nothing was influencing my decision, where it was me and me alone, thinking clearly, seeing clearly, knowing what I was doing, making that decision, would I have still made the decision I made? Right? So it's about getting to a place where you can make decisions and not regret because you feel like I wasn't in my right mind or I wasn't in the right state of mind. But in order for us to get to that point, you really got to understand how to heal from your own self and how to heal from the mental battles that we go through. So like I'm saying, having the right mind, to me, that means being able to just think clearly and make decisions that's not, that is, something on the outside force or something that happened is not affecting it. Even when you go through traumas, you know what I'm saying? Say childhood traumas, something that may have happened to you and, to this day, you may not have gotten over it. So a lot of decisions that you make, you move out of fear, not even realizing you moving out of fear. You moving out of, unsurety. You moving out of a place of scarcity and being scared. You move different when you don't feel protected, when you don't feel safe, when you don't feel that, first of all, everything is in God's hand. And whenever you feel like that, first of all, that's a sign that you got to get really, really, really in your prayer and get that relationship with the Lord so that you don't feel that, for one, he's not with you. And a lot of that is building a relationship with him, but just going back to the mental state of mind, you can still make false decisions based off of your past. And like I say, you move out of being scared, you move out of unsurety, And a lot of it's because you haven't healed from certain things. Or even think about, say you just went through something, like say you got into a car accident, right? And getting things together, and it was a real traumatic car accident. Like you probably totaled your car and may have had to go, to the doctor and get you. I mean, you not badly hurt, but it was enough for you to have to go get looked at. You trying to go to work, right? As you're working, you trying to move on and go and do life as normal. Ain't nobody gonna be able to do life as normal when they just got done going through something like that, because your mind is not clear. Your mind is not clear to focus on your everyday life like you've been doing everything else. I remember a time when I was in the military, and this was one of the first times that me and my ex, my kid's dad, had got into a physical altercation. And during this time, like, I think this was the time he ended up going to jail. And I don't even know if I ever told y'all this, but I went to jail at one time fighting him. And the reason I went to jail is because they said, not even they said, because I hit him first, quote unquote, I assaulted him first. We got into a physical fight outside, and I did hit him first. I had told you I had real bad anger issues, like crazy, right? Well, I was just upset about stuff. I told him get out of my car. He didn't want to get out of my car. I tried to. Mind you, I'm 5'4", he's 6'3". I tried to pull this man out of my car. He wouldn't budge, so I hit him, and we got to going at it outside. Anyways, some neighbors was looking down, seen the whole story. When I called the police on him, but when I called the police, they ended up taking me to jail because they said I hit him first. Anyways, y'all, I ain't even talking about that. What I'm saying is, I remember a time when we had got into a real bad situation. I don't believe it was that one. I don't know if it was that situation or not, because it was so many of them. That's how toxic that relationship was. But I remember it was one that really like hit me to the core, to the point where I couldn't focus. So I was taking a culinary, because my job in the military is a culinary specialist. So I was a cook in the military, but I also did like building management, office manager. I did different things, housekeeping, like that was all in my job description. So one time I was taking a certification course for my cooking for culinary specialist, and you had to take this accreditation. You had to take this test to be accredited for something. And I failed the test like 3 times. And I think I told my command what was going on, but they didn't really know what was going on. Then when I told them, they was like, no wonder why you can't pass the test. You can't think straight. And I couldn't think straight. When I tell you I was all over the place, I couldn't focus. I couldn't take the test right. Like I was not there. I was physically there, but mentally I was thinking about what I just went through. Oh, I know what it was. When I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, he had pushed me down the steps. And it was a whole drama, with that. But that was one of the first real physical altercations. No, it wasn't. It wasn't the first one. Because the one when I went to jail, that was the one of the first ones. But that was before I was even pregnant. So, again, y'all, I'm just saying that's how toxic that relationship was. Well, I remember that he pushed me down the steps and I was pregnant. That's what it was, because I remember I ended up having to tell my command about what happened. But anyways, what I'm saying is, because I had just went through something so traumatic, that I tried to go back to life as normal as usual, and I couldn't. Like, I literally could not focus. I couldn't focus on this test. I couldn't think straight. And again, at the time, I didn't know how to deal with that and then still try to go to work. And, I was all over the place. What am I saying? If somebody had to taught me about mental health at that time and healing from that, first of all, they shouldn't have let me be in that course. I should have been pulled out. You know what I'm saying? I should have been pulled out, and I don't know, went to counseling and therapy. Like, I should have had some help, not continue life as usual without being assisted after going through that. So that's just an example of me, I'm just showing you how your mental health matters. And when you go through something traumatic, when you go through decisions or life situations that shook you up to the core, where you're just like, I don't know what to do. You got to take the time to heal. And what I mean is, don't be trying to do too much. That ain't the time for you to be trying to go save the world. That's not the time for you to be trying to be, you know, help everybody. That's not the time for you to be living your best life. You need to go get some therapy if you need it, and you need prayer. And you need to sit still and let the Lord work on you and work out of you those things so that you can make decisions and you can move in a healed state. See, because when you're not healed mentally, you do make decisions and make certain calls in your life that, like I say, when we say, if I was in my right mind, I wouldn't have done that. No, you wouldn't do that. So why would you make decisions when you know you're not mentally even okay? And this could be just, they don't even have to be something so traumatic, but it can really just be, you know, just not clear in certain things, and, you know, not sure what to do, and you worrying about this and you're worried about that, and this is happening, this is keeping you up at night, and you having anxiety, and you may even suffer from PTSD and not even know it. It really can be anything. But until you get to a place of healing in your mind, and that means sitting still and letting the Lord do a work in you. See, I've recently just had to go through another mental healing coming out of my last relationship that I just come out of. That took me for a loop. And I'm noticing now, it's been about 2 years that we haven't been together, but I'm just not, I can truly say last year was an absolute mess. I was a mess. You wouldn't have known it. Like, not that I hide, but I know how to take my issues up with the Lord, and I don't carry my problems with me. Like, I don't look like what I go through. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's just being mature in the faith. You know what I'm saying? It's not about being fake. It's just being mature in your walk. Like, if I was to walk around like I'm just a mess, like, how do I show how faithful God is when I'm looking like what I'm going through? And that's the good thing about grace. God will grace you, although you may be going through absolute hell. God will grace you to still look good as you going through. That's why even to brand my shirts, I say glow through as you go through. You still gotta keep moving. But what I'm also saying is, I wish I would have known what I know today, that I wish I would have known 2 years ago, because the way I came out of that is probably not the way I should have came out of it. And I came out of it on social media. If you have been following me for the last 2 years, you will see some of my content, and a lot of that was directly towards him. A lot of that was from hurt, anger, and it was just hurt and trying to heal, but I didn't know how to express myself, and feeling like I was not that I was trying to prove anything. Yes, I was. I'm not even lie. That's exactly what I was doing. That's exactly what I was doing. I just had revelation right now, because I'm going to see and say, not that I was, no, that's exactly what I was doing. I was out to prove a point, because when I remember when I left, the way he made me feel was like I was nothing, that, you know, I got all these people around me praising me and letting me know how proud of me they are, and I'm at home with somebody who thinks nothing of me. So yes, a part of me was definitely out to prove, not necessarily just to him, but I think even to myself, to like remind myself, you is that girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, you is her. You always been her. You just got distracted and you got with somebody who did not help you take it to another level. But that don't mean you not who God called you to be. So, but not that I did anything wrong per se. Like, I wasn't disrespectful, and you know, you can go back through all my content, my Instagram and my Facebook. But I did address some things, and I kind of came out with this. I had this attitude, like I just could tell a difference now. That's all I'm gonna say. I could tell the difference in who I am today than who I was this last year and a half. Because now I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm okay. What I went through, we went through what we went through. But my goal now is I'm really just want to do God's will. And I think, and not even think, I keep saying I think. I believe that this time I've taken, even from social media, I've gotten a chance, as I'm telling y'all, I've gotten a chance to be at peace in myself, to get quiet, and really just see God on a lot of things, and starting to see things really for what they are. And I'm not bothered the way I was bothered. I don't care what he thinks about me no more. I don't need his approval. I don't need nobody's approval. I don't need nobody's validation. I don't need that no more. Like I was praying this morning early, and I was talking to the Lord, and I just said, God, you my best friend. You've always been my best friend. It's always been me and you. Because during my prayer, I was crying about some stuff. And just, in my worship and praying with the Lord. And I said, he told me, he said, I will never leave you and forsake you. And I said, I know you won't. I said, you never. And I'm telling him, like, Lord, you never have. It's been me. I've been in my own way. It ain't never been you. It's been me. I've been in the way. And I just got to start getting reminded of how close God have been to me. He's always been my friend. He's always been my best friend. He's always been closer to me than a brother. Always closer to me than a friend. Always closer. He have always been there for me, with me, through everything. I owe the Lord my life. I owe him my life. And at this point of my life, I'm so just trying to please him that I could care less. I could absolutely care less of what people think about me. Because as long as he's smiling down on me, as long as I'm pleasing him, the Lord, and he's, approving my moves and what I'm doing, that's all I need. And because I'm at this place, I know I've been healed. I know I've been set free. I know I've been changed. And I'm so grateful for that. See, I couldn't really talk this even calm even a year ago because I wasn't as at peace as I am now because I was still trying. And it ain't even just him. It's so many of people around me that, you know what I'm saying? Just because somebody in your face don't mean they rooting for you. I'm going to just say that right now. I just got done telling my kids that. People smile right in your face, look you dead in your eyeballs, smiling, wanting to have a conversation, and can't stand your guts. Baby, I don't got time for that. I'm so at a point, I feel so much energy. I feel everything around me. The moment I get an inkling or any bit of weirdness and I feel like it's this issue, baby, get out my face. I don't need that. I don't want that. If you don't like me for whatever reason and you don't want to, and you can't come have a conversation with me and let's work it out, if it's even that serious, then stay away from me. And that's the type of energy and peace that I'm protecting because I'm protecting my mental health. I'm protecting my mental space right now and my energy, protecting my children. You can't come around us if you don't fool with me. If you don't like my kid's mom, which is me, you can't come around my kids. You can't. I don't care who he is, family or not. You cannot come around my kids if you don't like me. Because, see, people that don't like you and come around your children, some of it is intentional, but a lot of it is not. But very unconsciously, they venomize your kids about you. And I went through that with my own family. It would never happen again. But like I told my kids, when y'all get good and grown and out my house, baby, y'all can do what y'all want to do. Because at that point, y'all have a voice. Y'all know enough. Y'all seen enough. Y'all know y'all mama. Okay? So can't nobody manipulate your mindset. Like, you know who I am. I raised you. You know what I'm saying? You see who I am. So at that point, when y'all get grown and want to go back and rekindle relationships, do what y'all want to do, what y'all need to do. But y'all know, you know what I'm saying, why y'all in my house and why I have protection over y'all and I have to be protect y'all mentality and y'all mental health. I can't have nobody around my kids who do not fool with me. And that's just the bottom line. And right now, I'm like, my kids is homeschooled and everything. Like, I pulled them out of school earlier this year. So they've been homeschooled since January, February. And it's been wonderful. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a big change in my kids. And I know they not as immobile as they was before, meaning like, with their friends and we don't really have a whole bunch of people around us right now. And mommy have made that very clear to them why. And I'm making a point to do that. I don't do a lot that I used to do before. But when I tell y'all there's a difference in me, I see a difference in myself. I see things so much better, so much different. And that's because I don't got a lot of influence. I don't got a lot of craziness. Now it's just about seeking the Lord and really doing his will for my life. And that's just where I'm at. So talking about healing your mental health, you guys, you got to get to the point where you cut off anything and anybody that is jeopardizing your peace, your energy, that is triggering you. You know your triggers. When something makes you anxious, that's a trigger. When something irritates your skin, that's a trigger. When something causes you to be nervous and scared, that's a trigger. Stop letting people trigger you. And if it's something about them triggering you, get away. Get away, because you're never going to be at peace. You're never going to feel safe. You're never going to feel like it's okay. You're going to always be jumpy and anxious and nervous. That's not a good way to live. Who wants to live like that? Nobody wants to live like that, but we live like that unconscious because we don't know that how bad it's affecting us. So heal your mental state. And you start by just getting quiet. You start by slowing things down, pressing into the Lord, drawing closer to God, and removing all distractions so that you can start seeing yourself and seeing, okay, this is why I've been making decisions like this. This is why I've been moving like this. This is why I'm here, because of decisions I've been making out of being afraid, out of being scared, out of not being sure, out of not knowing what's next. Like, you've been moving in fear. And that's not what God wants for you. So if you are in a situation where you feel like, and I did go to therapy. Matter of fact, I'm going to just be real. I'm in therapy right now. I went to therapy last year. I went through, that was the first time I really kind of went through a thing, but I couldn't really afford it to keep going, so I hadn't really went back. But recently I just went back, and I was able to go through the VA, and they're paying for it, so it's like, why not? So, and I've been going, therapy sessions every Wednesday. And we do it online, me and my doctor. And it's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. And I believe this is where a lot of my healing is continually come from, because I'm talking about traumas and past and issues and things, and understanding things about myself that I did not understand, that I did not know. And it's a lot of light has been shed on who I am, why I'm the way I am, why I've made decisions I've made, and just starting to really understand how God has made me and what has affected who I am from the core. You know what I'm saying? God made me a certain way, but there's things in my life that has thwarted that word, the way I move and the way I do things. So I just had to get back centered and get back to a place with the Lord, and get to a place with God that I can see clear, hear clear, and really know that the decisions I make now is not out of fear. It's not out of trying to prove a point, because I don't care no more. Like, when I say I don't care, I do not care what anyone thinks about me. Is such a beautiful feeling. I've never really cared, but unconsciously I was trying to prove a point. I don't got nothing else to prove. I am who I am. You love me if you love me. And if you don't, it's cool too. It is what it is. But my goal in life right now is really to seek the Lord, to do his will, and to get to heaven. That's it. And I want the same for you. Okay? Pray, seek out some therapy, get quiet, remove all distractions from people, places, and things, and get your mental right so that the decisions you make going forward is not because you trying to prove a point and prove that you are somebody. You don't got nothing to prove, baby. You are enough. You hear me? You are enough. If they don't think so, they not for you. You are enough. God has made you who you are. God has prepped you who you are. God has prepared you for who he's bringing you to. You are enough. You are enough. And that's all that matters. Amen. I love y'all. Say, keep God first at all times. Continue to pray, believe, trust in the Lord, and get your healing. Get your healing for you. If you have children, for the sake of your children, if you have family members that you're taking care of, that's around you, that's counting on you, get your healing for the sake of those who need you. Amen. All right. I love you guys. Y'all take care and we'll talk soon. Have a good one. Peace. All right. Thank y'all so much for listening in. Listen, if you get a chance, check out my social media on Facebook. I'm Tawana Talia. On my Instagram, I'm Tawana Motivates. And I also have fitness pages. So I have Instagram, Extreme Hip Hop with Tawana, and also Facebook, Extreme Hip Hop with Tawana. Any of those pages, check my link, the bio in my link, and you're able to see everything else I have going on. I have a lot going on this year. So make sure you click one of the links and get the information. Thank y'all so much for listening in, and I will talk to y'all soon. Peace.